All right, you guys. Good morning. I am your guest on Mornings with Marty this week, so we're gonna call it Rise and Shine with Rachel. Just gonna talk a little bit about kind of what's going on, how we're feeling, kind of from my point of view. So obviously we are over a month into our lockdown or whatever we want to call it right now. And we have potentially a little bit over a month left, depending on kind of how things are going. So I know from talking with a few of you or a lot of you that things are starting to get a little bit tougher mentally, just being stuck in our homes, kind of not knowing what's to come, what the normal is, but just kind of giving some perspective from where I am right now and what my life looks like a little bit. So today, just talking a little bit about what defines us and why we do the things we do. So I have a little guest with me today. So if you don't know, which you probably do know, this is my niece. I post an excessive amount of pictures and videos of her, and I'm not sorry about that. So this is Maya. She's just hanging out with me this morning, trying to eat her bottle right now. But so for me, rewinding back a little bit, probably like 3-ish, 4-ish years ago, things that defined me were fitness. And I mean that in a way that a lot of the things I did and the way I planned my life were defined by how, when, and if I would be able to train. So that also included my health. I would skip sleep so I could train more and skip social events, things like that. So the top of my priority list came from fitness, which is kind of an interesting thing if I was willing to give up parts of my health to become more fit. We all know that doesn't work out. So for me, this whole thing was very eye-opening to how I have evolved as a human being and person, as where my priorities lie. So rewind back about a month, well, I guess whatever day this started. So I think we closed the gym on March 17th. Or that was our last day that we had a class. And that first 10 days for me, after March 17th, were really, really hard. And that mainly came because, well, for the most part, this one, I was not allowed to see her. And that was not something I was used to. So, sorry. She will be a year next weekend. And obviously, if you know, she has some medical issues and she's a little bit small. But obviously for her health, we were protecting her. So kept her out of any sort of risk. So for me, not being able to see her was very hard. And not just her, but my other nieces and nephews and my family as well. The difference for them was I could talk to them and FaceTime with them and see them, and there was a lot of interaction. With her being so small, it was a lot harder. So it was visits through the door, lots of video calls with my sister and the girls, but with her being little, that wasn't necessarily something that she engaged very much with. So anyways, I know I'm rambling. I ended up spending 14 days in isolation at the gym, thankfully to Marty, who allowed me to do so that I could move in temporarily with my sister to be around them and be with the girls and help her out and kind of just be here right now. So that is where I am right now. So I am amidst some sort of chaos that you guys all probably feel right now, whether that's the isolation, being around a schedule that doesn't necessarily fit what you're used to. Maybe your productivity is down. Maybe you feel like everything you've done in the gym in the past year, 2 years is kind of slipping away from you. But for me, it's been a very refreshing time to realize what's been important to me. So obviously I am not in the gym working out anymore. I am here and I am kind of just rolling with the punches as they come. If workouts happen, that's great. I still am prioritizing the way that I move to stay healthy. But focus-wise, it's not something that I expect to come out of this with a bigger back squat PR or improve necessarily if I get stronger, things like that. But that also doesn't mean that I'm not getting better at something. So I have found little things that I know that even if it's 10 minutes in the morning or 15 minutes later in the day, that even if I do those things, it will make me better once the gym is back open or I am back into the gym whenever this thing ends. So I guess where I'm going with this is I encourage you guys to find something bigger, whether that's focusing on the smaller things around you right now that maybe you wouldn't be able to do or focus on if you were within your normal racing every day-to-day life. And I know we're all dealing with different struggles, whether that's maybe losing a job, not seeing the people that you love, maybe someone around you is sick. So not trying to downplay that maybe the storm you're going through is something that is very hard for you right now, but encouraging you to look for something small within that storm that maybe would not have happened if you weren't in the situation you're in now. So personally for me, get the croissant stuck. I know that without what's going on right now, I would never be able to, at 30 years old, spend as much time with my sister and my nieces that I am right now in a normal, like, everyday life situation. So, although it's different, and obviously I miss the gym being open, it's also an opportunity for me to focus on something that I probably would not have been able to fully grasp onto without everything that's happening. So I guess in turn, find something that is positive. Even if it's as small as, okay, I was able to focus on something today that will make me better tomorrow, whether that's within your home, whether that's reading a book, spending time with someone you love, making a memory that you probably would not have gotten. And don't worry about your fitness. If you guys are moving and you're trying to focus on staying as healthy as you can, and you're sleeping and doing your best to eat healthy, I promise you that your fitness will come back. If it's even gone down a little bit. Fitness is about being consistent and having faith that you've put in the work and you're willing to continue to put in the work. So we aren't made fit by a month of effort or a day of effort. We are fit because over time, so over years, we're consistently doing things that we find will better our health. So I know for a lot of us that mobility, working on that core strength, nutrition are all things that we can work on right now at home. So do something small like that when we get back in the gym, maybe we will have less restrictions with our mobility, which in turn will allow us to focus on something that we haven't been able to do before. So I guess what I'm saying through all of this stuff is try to find what defines you, and why you're doing what you're doing, and trust that regardless of how long this lasts and what we end up coming through, whether it's through the gym or life, because really all the stuff we do is just preparing us for everything else that comes at us. Trust that what you're doing is enough. And if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out, and don't be afraid to admit that you're struggling, because I think there are a lot of people that are in the same boat that are willing to either step up and help out in that situation or just be a listener. So I'll get off my soapbox soon, but yeah, so if any of you need anything, obviously I'm here, and we'll get back soon, I promise, whether that's a month or maybe sooner, depending on what happens, maybe a little bit longer. Just do your best to stay positive, and if you are having a bad day, try to find at least a small positive in that day and see if you can build on it, and then just remember every day is a new day, and we'll figure out a way to make it through together. So have a great day, you guys, and sorry if I rambled on or that did not make any sense. All right?